Okay, so over the weekend, the Democrats consultants, if you will, the top consultants in the party, those gathered and laid out 20 solutions for how Democrats can regain working class trust. Oh, the irony of it all, huh, Jen? And reconnect with them culturally. More than a few stuck out to more than a few stuck out to playbook. Okay, that's terrible English right there. The party should embrace patriotism, community, and traditional American imagery.
Again, they're back to that they think they have a messaging and a branding problem.
Oh yeah, that's exactly
I think that's their problem.
Democrats should ban far left candidate questionnaires and refuse to participate in forums that create ideological purity tests. You see, now, what exactly are you talking about when it comes to
You're talking about things like healthcare and a living wage.
Yeah. Are you talking about the blue-haired Looney Tunes who think that everything is racist and sexist and all that? Or are you talking about people that want a living wage, universal health care, clean drinking water, end endless war, and a safe environment? Oh, no, that's not allowed. That's a purity test. And move away from the dominance of small dollar donors.
That's their dominance in the Democratic Party. That's what they're dominated by. That's so hilarious.
Steve, I'm telling you, they go to sleep at night. Hillary has to have
delusional. They're delusional.
Hillary and Wasserman Schultz have to have voodoo dolls with like a Bernie voodoo doll that they stick needles in all the time. Like he had to come and ruin our perfect little party. Like that's how, honestly,
they're still veering right. They still think they need to appeal to centrist right and right people.
Imagine thinking, move away from the dominance of small dollar donors whose preferences may not align with the broader electorate. You mean like 80% of the electorate that basically lives paycheck to paycheck? Is that who you're talking about?
But these are okay. So somebody's Donald James is asking. These are suggestions that were made from the DNC meeting, from the party, from a committee or something. Like what were these from?
Yes, this is basically the Democratic establishment, if you will, the DC consultant class, the whole nine. They all went to a private retreat, probably, at Martha's Vineyard or someplace like that, and had their little talking points all put together about how they're going to save the Democratic Party.
Okay.
And the next one is they should push back against far left staffers and groups that exert a disproportionate influence on policy and messaging. In what universe? In what universe? These people get purged all day, every day. And even if that
like to have one example. Can we think of one example where well, first of all, can we think of one example of a far left staffer? Because that I can't fathom. But anyway.
Candidates should get out of, quote, elite circles and into real communities, i.g. tailgate. Let me explain something to you about tailgates.
Oh my God, they are so oblivious.
Local restaurants like diners and churches. If the Democratic Party has sunk so far at this point that
they're reaching out to gun shows.
Yeah, if you showed up at a tailgate, like a football tailgate, if you showed up at, forget a gun show. That's
so
suicide.
Funny. That's so funny.
Gun show is suicide. But if you show up at a tailgate or you show up at like a diner and you say that you're a Democrat, you are going to get run out of the friggin' place. Like that is going to happen. And Steve will be right back. He's restarting his computer because
he's having technical difficulties. I think this is so friggin' funny. It's almost like, again, it's like I really feel bad for the Onion. You cannot make this shit up.
No.
This seems like what Saturday Night Live would put out about mocking the elitist Democratic Party, and yet this is real. It's so ridiculous. So it gives me the idea that they sense their own elitism because they recognize that they need to get out of their elitist bubble and go to where the regular folk are, tailgates and gun shows where the regular folk are. Translation, we need to pull over some people from the right because we really are on the same page.
Do they not understand how elitist this comes off?
And that's what I mean. Like this whole thing is it so proves the point as to why they're dying. That, you know what this reminds me of? This is sort of like the party's version of what Gavin Newsom is doing with his podcast. Like, we're going to spend the next few years being out there amongst the regular people and show you how we're just like you all. And that way you're going to forget all about this nonsense and vote for us in 28. No, we're not. It's never going to happen. But it's so desperate sounding to me.
The party needs to own the failures of Democratic governance in large cities and commit to improving local government.
I don't know what that means.
You mean
I don't know what that means.
You mean like keeping Eric Adams on as mayor of New York City?
So, but wait. But they don't need to own the failures of the Democratic governance of their party and of the country.
No, it's just
right?
it's just the urban blighted areas of major cities. I said that's
just checking. Just your little blue slush fundy areas.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm just on, this is so absurd.
Oh, it's not that it's absurd. It's actually
These
that it's
people
just sad.
Like hi, Steve.
But allow them.
Hey, sorry about that.
No, but we're just talking about that you couldn't make this shit up. Like the elitism that oozes from them saying we need to get out of our elitism and go hang out with the regular folks.
Yeah. Colin, is there additional are there any more talking points here or is this it? Is there anything
think that
else?
Was it. I think that was it. It was pretty short.
Yeah, I thought that there may have been a few more.
I can try and find the article here. Just give me a minute.
It's just
unless there's anything that's relevant.
No. It's not. No, I think that was the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, as Chip likes to say, it's the end of empire. There are too many holes in the dike. No one is planning for the flood. Save Peter Thiel, who has an escape pod in New Zealand. Yeah, he probably
Good riddance. Does. Good riddance.
Well, Peter Thiel, Peter Thiel, who was the co-founder of PayPal with Elon, he's powerful. These guys are they're the other problem, Steve, is that the billionaire class of today.
Okay, are we back with this? Okay.
Yeah, the tech billionaire class of today is a class that is really, they're all on the spectrum. Their lack of humanity is very real.
You mean they don't look like real people to you? Are those not like first of all, seriously, look at Musk versus Lord Farquaad. That to me, and for anybody who doesn't know who Lord Farquaad is, it's the king from Shrek who pretends to have long legs and they have to lift his little body and put them in the fake legs because he's such a small man. That to me, like, look at how, they're seriously, these
Who
people,
made this?
Me.
Who made It's fantastic.
Thank you.
It's fantastic.
Thank you. Well, it's an updated version. The one we have, our original one, is the four of them with just funky hats on. But I had to find them alter egos at this point because we're at that point.
Oh, we are. But I know you're going to laugh. I don't know who Aloysius O'Hare is.
Okay, so this is important because that is who Bill Gates is. So Aloysius, I forget how they say his name. Aloysius is from the Lorax. And this was the guy who owned all the oxygen and and everyone was forced to buy the oxygen from him. And he made sure nobody could have access to trees.
Yeah.
So to me, that's Gates. Like
the Monsanto version of the world, huh?
Thank you. That's why. And it took me a while to figure out Zuckerfuck, but at the end of the day, he comes off like a spoiled brat that wasn't popular when he was little or got pushed aside by the Incredibles and then decided to, fight back against the world.
Well, if you think about it, the Winklevoss brothers are
the Winklevi.
Yeah, the Winklevi. They're tall, they're handsome, they're square jawed, the whole thing. So, he clearly, I'm sure, had a jealousy of them. And, they, to this day, they say, listen, it was our idea and he stole it. And he ultimately had to pay restitution to both of them, $20 million each. But in the grand scheme of things, what's $20 million to Mark Zuckerberg? He got away with what he wanted to get away. Am I going to be next? Am I going to be kicked out of the studio?
I don't know, man. It's crazy. Jem, what did you do?
I did it ever since.
Oligarchs.
I don't know what it is, but what I'm saying is he comes off like a spoiled brat to me. And all I can say to Zuck is stay away from the capes. Stay away from the capes, because the capes will get you every time. And if you guys didn't see the ridiculousness that was him imitating Benson Boone doing that performance for his wife's birthday, you guys have to find this. It's there's no words. He actually got himself the same costume that Benson Boone wore, except he can't do the flips. And so he just ran around the stage like lip syncing that song. It's so absurd. But this is just, these people are just very small people to me. And yes, I do believe they do seem like they're on the spectrum to me.